came from.
That's right. Everything's fine.
Yeah, through the school, they
You did it, Gabe. So when does it go into effect?
Immediately. It's in effect immediately. That's it.
It's official.
That's official.
Wow, Gabe, this is huge, dude. This is huge.
What are you talking about?
Saftronauts, this is a huge day. Mom and Dad are officially Gabe's guardians, right?
Mhm.
I don't really understand, even from my end, what does this mean in terms of what's different now? And this coming off of World Down Syndrome Day last
Yes.
week. We're gonna have to do a
That
toast.
came from.
That's right.
That's
We're gonna have to do a toast tonight.
Yeah, we went to court in February. We had to. We didn't have a choice. We found out just because we're mom and dad doesn't mean that you're able to make decisions for individuals like Gabriel, who cannot make decisions for himself regarding his health, any issues that may come up. And I actually found out by accident, like many people with intellectual disabilities or any kind of disabilities, they receive Medicaid and for the services that he gets. And I called up to find out some information, and they wouldn't give me any information over the phone. And I'm like, I'm his mom.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't. Once he turns 18, all decision making goes to him. And the only way they would give me anything is if Gabriel could tell them where he lives, his address, his birth date, anything. Then they would say, okay, and I could speak with them, but he can't.
So for over 3 years, you and Dad could not officially make any decisions for Gabriel.
Theoretically, legally, if something really had happened,
Like medically, anything.
God
like
forbid
that,
something had actually happened to him, and he was in, the hospital or something like that, the doctors could fight us on that. But yeah, this makes sure that no matter what happens, we get to make all decisions about his future, about his health, about where he lives, whatever. And if something happens to us, this states that you and your sister become standby guardians for 6 months if something happens to your dad and I. And during that 6 months, you then have to petition the court to become permanent if something happens to us.
Yeah, it's also an interesting.
If you want to talk, you have to turn the camera to you.
People might like to see.
Come here. Let's turn the camera. Yeah, cameraman.
It's an interesting discussion too, because in our case, we would definitely want guardianship over it, but some people also see it as, well, this means that the person you're having guardianship over is relinquishing all of their rights to making decisions over their medical care,
Their
maybe
future,
financial decisions and all that sort of stuff. But in this case, where Gabriel is unable to represent himself, speak for himself, understand the context of things, and make those really complicated decisions, this is definitely within his best interest, I think.
What would end up happening is if we don't have the legal documents, the state can actually come in and take over and make decisions for him. Yes, that's where the danger comes in, and yes, there may be some people out there that don't necessarily have people like Gabriel in their best interest, but the majority of us all do, and we want to make sure that we make the decisions, not the state.
Yeah, we started this like 8 months ago, I think.
Yeah, we started in, I think, March or April of last year.
Yeah.
And we got lucky. They thought it was going to take close to a year, but we actually got a court date in February. We were very lucky. It was less than a year. The process was actually we had
It was really
a
smooth.
very
I mean,
nice judge.
Had a great
too.
judge, and
Yeah.
actually one of the women up there, I can't remember what her job is. Maybe she's a coordinator or whatever. But you worked with her, or you?
Well,
still
no,
work with her?
when some issues had arisen about my brother, and we had gone in to find out some some information, she was the clerk that was taking care of us. So I did recognize her. I don't think she recognized me though. It was very strange, like they ask you certain questions that more or less just prove that Gabriel cannot make these kinds of decisions. He doesn't understand. He doesn't have the ability to understand the depth of
your
that.
best interest.
Yes.
So do something that's even bigger, I think, as well, which is getting yourself an attorney who specifically is an expert on people with disabilities.
And we had one?
Well,
yeah, we have one
yeah.
now, yes. Through the school, they...
You did it, Gabe. He's like, yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, I know.
When Gabriel was in high school, this attorney came to the school to give a seminar as to what's important and, the need for a will, etc., and a trust, because they can't have any money under their name. We hired him to develop a will because it is essential. If something happens to us, you have to have things set up of who's going to take care of him, and that's where you became his guardian if something happens to us. And now that Kira's 21, it takes effect, your co-guardians. Then it comes into effect financially. How do you take care of him? You don't want to leave your children to have to necessarily take on the entire financial responsibility. So the attorney helped us establish a trust account that you can have, like an insurance policy that you pay into, and that money, should something happen to us, just goes right into that account, not under his name, but it can be used to take care of him by you and your sister. None of this we ever knew, and most people don't. So it's very important, no matter what level you are, in terms of professions or whatever, that you have somebody that specializes in the special needs community, because there are laws that are very different than just a regular will, let's say. But everybody who has a child like Gabriel, or any child that cannot take care of themselves, they need to have a will to make sure that their wishes and their child's wishes are guaranteed, and that some stranger just can't come in and make decisions.
We're talking
and do
like
what
on the
they
other
want.
end of the whole thing, and it's an investment and what have you. But in the end, there's such tremendous peace of mind that comes knowing that everything is in order, that people know what their roles are going to be, that his best interests are going to be taken care of for the rest of his life.
Yes, we're not worried.
Yeah.
We want to be around for the whole time.
Yeah, no, take this for a minute. Take a count. Let's choose very clear about this. Nothing's happening. All right, everything's fine. Everything's
No,
fine.
your parents are Yoda, don't you know?
Yoda and who are you? He's Yoda. You don't even have a character.
She's an Ewok. She's an Ewok.
Yes, I'm
Yoda and the Ewok. Disney, if you're still watching these videos, you're gonna love that reference.
So we go into the courtroom. I told mom mom before we walk in, we can't both be answering the same questions and everything. So I guess we'll take turns and that kind of stuff. So our attorney sat here, Gabriel sat there, I sat here, mom sat here. The questions started coming in, and mom started answering them. And after about halfway through, I figured out exactly what my role was. This. Maybe I got 1.5 sentences in just to echo what mom was saying. Otherwise, the whole time it was
Did look at you once in a while.
pathetically.
You're the quiet man. You're a man of few words.
Don't you know how it works? Mom pulls the string in the back, and I go.
No strings, no. And Saftronauts, if any parent, anyone out there has any questions about this, mom and dad will be going through the comments, and they will absolutely answer any questions, because
If
this
we
is,
can,
if they can, because this is, it is a complicated process, but the whole point of this universe, the whole point of what we're doing is that you're all a part of the family. So please ask away, and we love you all. You did it!
We did it!
You did it!
Ow!
I'm sorry, was that too hard? I'm sorry. Hey Saftronauts! You asked for it and now it's here. We're super excited to announce that we now have official Sapphire Universe merchandise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude! Now wherever you are in the universe, you could twin with us also, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Click the link in the description below or the link in our bio. See you in the universe.
I love you.